video, we are going to take a look at conditions in your spreadsheet cells. So normally when we've been doing equations and formulas and stuff in the cells, that one formula always runs. A cell shows what it shows. Like this cell shows 452. This cell shows Bob. But sometimes you can make cells decide what to show using conditions. And it's going to work just like in programming languages. We use an if statement to ask a question, and then we decide what to show. So let's do a couple of examples here. A few of them are going to be very easy, and then there'll be a challenging one down here or two, right, that are a little harder. So let's give it a go. So here's some people picking apples. And they pick some apples, and we're going to say that to earn the bonus, they have to have 500 or more. So I just want to write to start here. Let's write yes or no. Did they earn the bonus? So if they earn the bonus here, well, how do I write yes or no? I go equals, and to start a condition, you just put if. Put a bracket, and then the format of the if statement's a little bit different than other functions we've used. Here's what you do. You ask your question. So my question is B2 greater or equal than 500? Okay, so that's the condition. That is either true or it is false. Now, what happens if it's true? Well, you put a comma, and it says here, well, it's saying false because it's false for Adam, but whatever you put here is what happens if the statement is true. So if it's true, I'm going to say yes. And text has to be in quotes. And then you put another comma, and you put what happens if it's false. And if it's false, I say no in quotes. And so again, you write if, you put your condition, and then this next part is if the condition is true, you do this. If it's false, you do that. And let's see what it does. And you can see it's asking, do I want to auto drag it? Let me auto drag this one all the way down. And you can see that it seems to be working. If I change somebody's value here, you can see the values flip, right? So this is nice, and you can sort of get the reason why this might be good in spreadsheets. You can not just do text, but you can also do numbers as well, which will be our next example. And so your sheets can come a little more to life, right? Doing stuff like this. A little bit of programming inside your spreadsheet. Okay, the next one. Let's say the cost of an item. Okay, $44. Payment is going to be $50. Well, you know if I do this, the change should be B9 minus B8. And the change is $6. But what happens if they do this? What happens if they try to pay with 20? I don't want to say your change is negative 24. That's weird. It should say something else. It should either say, sorry, we got a problem here, or we say something like not enough. So how do we do this with a condition? Well, we have two cases, right? One case is they pay with enough. One case is they don't. Well, that's exactly like up here, right? We had one case if it's true, one case if it's false. So let's just redo this one. Clear it out, and let's write our if. So my condition is going to be, well, if you think about it, let's do the condition where they have paid with enough, okay? If they've paid with enough, that means their payment in B9 is greater or equal to the value in B8. So let's just write that out. If B9 is greater or equal to B8, that's good. I should show them their change. So comma, let's do what we do when it's true. Well, if it's true, what am I going to show them? I'm going to show them B9 minus B8. That's what I had before, because that's good. If it's not true, I write not enough. And you can mix equations and text like that. So notice how this one takes it up a little level, right? There's my condition. Did they pay with enough? If the answer is true, display this. Display a formula. If they didn't, display not enough. And when I hit enter here, it should work. It says not enough. If I pay with 44, my change is 0. If I pay with 77, My change is 33. And so that's a nice little example there of conditions and then changing things like this. We'll never take this too much farther in this course, but just to let you know, later on in other parts of your table, you could ask, is this a number or is this text? And you can even ask what the text is, right? And then you could do other stuff. So it almost becomes like a little bit of a program. But again, not for us in this course. Okay, let's try one that gets a little harder here. This mystery number. Let's say some friend types a mystery number. I don't know, some mystery number is 60. And you make a guess. And you guess 64. What I'd like it to do is this. I'd like you to tell me how far off was your guess. Well, how far off was B14 minus B13. So a little similar to last one. And it tells me I'm 4 off. But if I guess 55, it tells me I was -5 off. I don't like that. I only want to show a positive value. I want to say you're 5 off. Okay, I don't want to say you're -5 off. It's weird. So here's what we can do. Again, you have two conditions, two possibilities here, perfect for your simple if statement. Let's ask a question. Let's ask if the number is going to be positive. Well, the number will be positive. Whoops, let me get out of here. The number will be positive maybe in a case like this, right? When this number is bigger than this number, that's good. That's a simple calculation. So let's do that. If B14 is bigger than B13, if that's true, what do I show? I show B14 minus B13. What do I do if it's false? Well, if it's false, and this is the tricky math one, I do the opposite. I show B13 minus B14. And that'll give me the positive value of it. And you can see it works whether I put positives or negatives in here. It's always going to show me positive. There's other ways to this too that you might be thinking of, and you can try it out, But again, notice, if it's the case that it's a positive answer, show the positive answer. Otherwise, reverse the order that you subtract them, right? So you get a positive answer. Last example here. This one going to be similar logic idea, a little bit bigger. This one is the number of donuts I'm buying and the box size. How many donuts can fit in the box? I want to know how many will be in the box and how many left over. So for instance, if I buy, say, 12 donuts and my box is 24, the answer should be, well, all 12 go in there and there's 0 left over. Makes sense, right? But if I buy 30 donuts, well, what's the situation going to be? There'll be 24 in the box and there will be 6 left over. So we're going to have to use two conditions, a condition in each box to do this. So let's give it a go. So here we go. Let's think about this here. How many are in the box? Well, let's ask a question. And the question is going to be, we have two situations. When this number, B18, is less than or equal to this number, I know they all go in the box, right? And I also know the leftovers will be 0. So let's give that a go here. So how many will be in the box? Well, if B19 is less, whoops, wrong line. If B18 is less than or equal to B19, so remember which one we're doing here. If my number of donuts is less than the box size, that's good. They can all fit. Then in the box, I should just be showing B18, right? They are. Otherwise, that must mean the false means the number must be bigger. And if they're bigger, how many are going to be in the box? Well, whatever the size of the box is, B19. And again, I wouldn't worry too much about this example of this one. I know every year students could get, but I just want to show it to you there just in case this is all going well. And test it out. So let's say I have 3 donuts. All 3 are in the box. Why? Well, 3 is less than 24. True. So I show B18, which is 3. Now let's do the other case. Let's pretend I have 33 donuts. It says 24 in the box. Why? Well, let's just read our statement. If B18, 33, is less than B19, 24, well, that's false. So it's not going to do this. It should show B19. It should show 24 because I'm going to fill it up, right? And that's how many fill it up. And so that ends up being that one, right? Now, how do we do the leftovers? Well, the leftover is the spillover. Well, let's ask a question. Let's ask if there's spillover. If the number of donuts is more than the box size, so if this number is more than this number, then what do? I have leftover. What am I going to show? The leftover would be B18 minus B19. It would be 33 minus 24. Otherwise, well, otherwise there is no spillover. So you're just showing 0. I'll let that one sink in a bit. And you can see that this works. So now when I do this, 5 donuts, 5 in the box, 0 left over. 55, 24 in the box, 31 left over. Again, if this one totally stumped you, don't worry about it too much. It's a little bit of a niche case, but thought I'd throw it in there. Anyways, that's it for conditions, right? Just some simple ones there.